Okay, everybody, I'm back with the Chao Garden stuff. I feel the need to reintroduce myself because I was actually gone, not playing / playing and getting stuff around for a long time. So, I've been busy, been doing stuff, but I picked up, you've seen the Rams before. This bird gives you a crap load of flying and removes some of your other stats, so keep finding that. But I also picked up a couple of very special animal called the skeleton dog. And it's special for a few reasons, which I don't think I'll actually be able to show off most of them here. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and show some stuff off. So right now we have Soul, right? We take a good look at Soul. He's doing some stuff. I couldn't drop off every Chao Garden or every Chao I wanted to in the... I couldn't drop off every single Chao that I wanted to in the daycare because some of them were napping and I didn't want to wake them up because that pisses them off. So some of them didn't make it to the daycare. But as you'll notice, Soul's feet, they're back to normal. And that's what the skeleton dog does. It slowly takes... See, now his tail's gone. If his arms would leave, I would actually leave him with the unicorn horn. But what we're doing right now to both Soul and Shadow, because it's important that you guys see every feature that the Chao has to offer in its natural state, because the animal, I personally have never actually liked... Okay, I'm going to leave him with the unicorn horn. That's going to be... I can't believe that's what he got stuck with. But that's what he's going to stick with. I'm not going to get rid of his unicorn horn because it's awesome. But anyways, I've never actually liked the way Chao look. With animal parts on them. I only ever gave them animals because it levels up their stats significantly faster than, what am I trying to say? It levels up their stats significantly faster than just giving them Chao drives, plus it's easier to do the glitch with. So, that's actually why. I think I'm going to give this bird to Shadow because I don't want to give it to Soul and have him get an animal part back. He's actually perfect right now with just the unicorn fro and the horn that he's rocking. But anyways, hold on, I gotta cover my bird real quick. Anyways, there's so many cool features that they put into Chao, and it just gets completely blocked off. Excuse me, it just gets completely blocked off by all the animal parts. As you can see, not only is Soul becoming a hero Chao, since we gave him so much flying stuff, he's actually turning into a hero flying Chao, which oddly enough, their wings aren't that big. I think it's just the hero Chao nature, but he's got these purple outsides, and if he were power hero, those would be like orange or red. If he were running, they would be different colors. I mean, you know, so on and so forth. Now it kind of sucks because we're going to have to get rid of old Shadow's fucking 4 wings. He has 4 goddamn wings, which is incredible by itself. And maybe his horns, we'll see. If his horns can stay, if his horns are the only ones that stay, we'll keep him. I'll give him that bird. I didn't mean to pick up that bird. I got it by accident. But it actually, I like his feet, too. So yeah, now we're going to do this, and hopefully he gets to keep his horns, but if his horns go, then I'm going to get rid of everything, probably. Just because I want you guys to see what, maybe his feet, too. I like his feet. But I want you guys to see what the Chao are supposed to look like. So his horns were the first thing to go. He was the opposite of Soul. His feet were the second. Alright, my 2 favorite parts that were him were gone. There we go. I was like, take the animal. His feelers are gone. Good, I didn't like those. But as you can see, he's developing. And he's actually what I don't want him to be now. He's becoming a flying Chao, so we're going to have to fix that. But he's becoming like a dark flying type. Now all he's got left is his phoenix tail, so that'll go back to normal here in a second. Oh my god, it's I don't know what to do. Just lose the damn phoenix tail. Oh my god, it's over. Okay, he's actually back to being like a neutral Chao, though, so this is actually really bad. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to give the rest of these skeleton dogs not to Soul. Let's just pick somebody. Let's pick somebody. Where's Boobies at? Are you Boobies? Yeah, you're Boobies. Okay, yeah, you're just going to get... I'm not going to give the Rams to anybody because I don't want to flood up any of my other Chao with anything, and being that the skeleton dog only takes stuff away. Here you go, Thud. You can have that. And now I'm going to feed everyone, and then I have one more thing to take care of, and I'll tell you guys about it when I get there, so BRB. Oh, here we go. So this is the animation to get if your Chao ever gets really hungry, and he was napping for a while, and then we fed him stuff for a while, so he's really hungry. But if your Chao ever gets really hungry, they'll do that. They'll make a certain noise. It sounds kind of goofy, but then they really dig into it. But that just means they're going to get a lot of stamina, so it's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean you've waited too long to feed them. It probably means that you've waited the right amount of time. However, if you wait much longer, they will get upset and have to go find the fruit themselves, which isn't always the worst thing. Anyways, be right back. Okay, so we're back. Basically, I did two things. One, I picked up the 2 Chao. I had Rusty and Viagra in Chao class, and I picked them up from that. And 2, I went to Dr. Eggman's Iron Gate, and I got all green Chaos Drives. I only picked up Chaos Drives after I killed a robot if it was green. And now I'm looking for Shadow and can't fucking find him because he doesn't look like himself anymore. He's looking more like a neutral Chao. So there's something we want to do with him right now. He is our running Chao, right? I kind of screwed up with him and I made his running stat too good in the beginning. And that might hurt him later, but it probably will end up not mattering that much. But anyways, first thing we're going to do is redarken him. And I thought about cutting this out because it does take a little while. And it's annoying, but you know what? I just realized something. We actually have some time on our hands. But the first thing we're going to do with him is completely redarken him. Or get him close, so that way I can start giving him running Chaos Drives. But as you can see, he's turning darker. He's also getting a weirder shade of red to him, which is kind of goofy, but it'll be explained later. Sorry, Soul was freaking me out, but it looks like he's just sitting. It's weird that just sitting would freak me out, but it'll all be explained later. But anyways, he's dark enough. Now he's gonna keep getting darker as I give him as I give him the running Chaos Drives. So that's fine with me. So all right, now we're gonna start giving him these. And there's a reason I picked now to take all of his animal parts off of him and start giving him Chaos Drives. And I don't know how to explain this. There's a certain point that Chao hit, which we may not be coming up to, but I'm ready for, so we'll get to it. I would just want to make sure we get to it when I'm ready for it. So there's a lot of Chao over here now. I'm just gonna wait for him to kind of get out of the way and clear out. But there's a certain point that Chao hit when they hit a certain age after they've been in the garden long enough. I don't think we're coming up on it yet, but I want to be ready for when it does happen, because sometimes it just comes out of nowhere. But usually, if you know what you're doing, you'll be ready for it. But Chao evolve at some point. So you may be asking, like Thundershot, even though apparently he wants to be put down. He's crying. What a weirdo. I'm gonna go feed him. Probably because we played with his emotions so much. We made him happy and then sad. Or not happy and sad, but we made him good and then evil and good and then evil. Maybe he's got that crybaby type. I don't know. But anyways, after so long, your Chao evolve. And it happens... Yeah, he's hungry as shit. Okay, I'll just keep feeding him until he throws it behind his head. Just probably feed Soul too then. And you may be thinking like, okay, so Soul's best stat is flying, but you gave him a crap load of flying points. You didn't really need to give him a crap load of flying points because that's his best stat. It levels up pretty good on its own anyway. Same thing with Shadow. You're giving Shadow a bunch of running Chaos Drives now, but his running is already really far ahead. Well, it's because when a Chao evolves, he evolves into a certain... Well, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I kind of just want to wait for it to happen, but that's not going to be the case. Who is singing? Shut the fuck up. Yeah, thank you. Okay, we're done. If you pet him, they'll stop. And even though his eyes went droopy, he loved it. See, now he's happy. He was just super hungry. Okay. But, so we're going to keep feeding him. You can evolve into, first of all, Neutral Dark, or Hero Dark. We'll learn about that later, though. I'm going to save that one for when it actually happens. But you can evolve into whatever stat. Not the one you're leveled up in most, but the one you've been leveled up in most recently, excluding stamina. If you've been leveled up in power, or flying, or swimming, whichever stat you've been leveled up in recently the most is the one. I'm just going to keep feeding him, because he apparently keeps being hungry. That's the kind of Chao you're going to evolve into. And again, I'm still confused as to how to say this. He doesn't, when he evolves, he'll look like the type he evolved into. And we want that to be running for him. And the reason we want that to be running, even though he's already got an A in running, and running's already his best stat, the reason we want him to evolve into a running Chao is because what happens when they evolve into a certain type is they actually grow a letter up in that type. Right now, he has an A in running. There's actually one stat above A, and you will never find this in a beginner Chao. In your very first Chao you find in the garden, you'll never find a Chao with the stat above an A. It's called the S stat. You'll never find a Chao with that in your first 2 Chao. I don't think you can find him in any Chao you buy from the black market either, but I might be wrong on that. But we want him when he evolves, which could be whenever, but I'm trying to get ready for it now. When he evolves, we want him to... Well, quit walking away, dummy. We want him to evolve into a running type Chao, so that way his stat in running can go from an A to an S. And of course, as you know, that means when he levels up in running, after he gets an S stat, he'll get more points, which means his running will be even better. That's why I kind of screwed up getting his running as high as it is already, because that means he has less levels, because you max out at 99 levels. That means he has less levels to get the S stat growth for, but it'll all be okay. It'll work out in the end. It actually probably won't end up being that big of a deal. But I am glad I held off on Soul's flying, because I'm going to do this with Soul too. He's going to be a flying type, and if Soul gets an S in flying, he still has a lot of levels left to go before he maxes out. But anyways, I think what I'm doing now is pretty much good enough, so, well, maybe not. He looks like he's still kind of morphing. So I'm going to keep doing the glitch on him for a little while. I want to make sure he's 100% going to be a running Chao. But with the dog we gave him, that's a bunch of running stats, and then now we're giving him a bunch of green Chao drives, just to make sure the last thing he got a whole load of was running. That's going to basically confirm that he'll be a running Chao for us, the one that we want. The greenish tint that he's getting, at least for dark Chao, actually signifies he's going to be a running Chao. He's getting like a greenish bluish tint, and you'll notice he's got the 3 spikes in his head just like a neutral Chao would, so he's kind of aiming towards that running. Now, Hero and Dark differ a little bit, and Neutral and Hero differ a lot sometimes. Same thing with Dark and Hero, obviously they're polar opposites. But a running Hero Chao may not have the same traits as a neutral running Chao. For example, the neutral running Chao, they get the 3 spikes behind their head, they got the greenish tint to them. Even though Dark Chao have that, Hero Chao don't quite look the same. They don't get the spikes in their head when they're running quite like the others do. It's kind of weird, but it varies by Hero, Neutral, and Dark. But he looks like he's pretty dead set on running now, so we're just going to finish him out here. And now that I know his running is heavily favorable, what I want to do to make sure he doesn't evolve in anything else is I know his running's super stacked, so I'm just not going to give him anything for a while. I'm not going to give him anything until he evolves, because I want the last stuff he had to be running. That will ensure he evolves into the running Chao that I want him to evolve into. Very important. Side note, our fruit, or our trees have sprouted fruit, and it's neat. Here you go. Eat it, boobies. So what am I going to do next? We basically do the same thing with Soul. Now, I got rid of everything on Shadow, but I kept Soul's unicorn thing because I think it's awesome and it reminds me of the first Chao I ever had. Not in this playthrough, obviously, but ever. And I think that's neat, but I just want to make sure everybody's fed. I like to go around and make sure they're fed at all times. So I'm going to do the same thing with Soul. I'm going to give him a bunch of flying stats just to make sure. Excuse me, because we gave him a bunch of skeleton dogs, and that kind of morphs him into a running type. Oh, he's going to fall asleep on me, the douche. Anyways, I'm going to go make sure Soul gets a bunch of flying stuff. So I'm going to go get that prepared and be right back. Okay, so we're back. I actually had to wait for Soul to take another entire nap, so he's been that guy lately. I tried to do something cool with the Chao Garden. I was going to do something really cool with Phelps, but I couldn't do it. I don't know why. It was kind of rough, but we're going to do something cool with Phelps later. It's something, I don't know if I can't do it right now or if my luck was just really bad with it, but eventually Phelps will be super awesome looking. But that's all I'm going to give away. So now basically we're just going through the process. We want to make sure 100% that Soul will be a flying type. And again, this isn't what level you have highest. It doesn't go off what level you have highest. It's what stat he's been given the most of recently. So let's just say he was a 19 in running, but I hadn't leveled up his flying at all. Let's just say his flying was still level 0. He would be geared up to be a running type probably. But then if I were to give him enough levels to be level 5, and that might even be too much. But if I were to give him, well, you can't have too much, but that might even be more than enough. Let's just say I gave him enough levels to be level 5 in running, just without giving him any. Getting ahead of myself. Let's say he's level 19 in running, okay? You're with me so far, but level 0 in flying. He would be geared up to be a running type probably. But if I gave him enough Chao drives to be level like 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that in flying, if he goes from 0 to level 6 in flying without getting any other Chao drive for any other stat, then even though he's only level 5 or 6, he's going to be geared up to be a flying type because that's what he's gotten most of recently. So that's how it works. That's what he would be ready to be evolved into. So I'm probably going to stop at level 22 or 23 with him. And then we get to do probably the most interesting part of the entire Chao Garden. Once he's ready. Once he's ready, once we get ready to do our big epic final, it's not final, we're nowhere near the end, but once we get ready to do our big epic bout in Chao, as soon as I get done leveling him up to where I think he's completely 100% geared up to be a flying type, which the more I look at it, the more I'm pretty sure purple is the flying type color, so he's probably already set that way. Then, the next step is we wait. And this is exactly why I decided to go ahead and get a bunch more little Chao for the Chao Garden so they can be running around doing stuff. I can be taking them to the daycare or the classroom if I want to. Letting them goof around, do their own thing. But basically what's going to happen is I'm going to be AFK. I'm probably not going to film it. I thought about filming it, but it would literally take up too much memory on my computer. So I think instead what I'm going to do is maybe keep a timer on it so you guys know how long I waited. But considering how much time we've been in the Chao Garden already in the episodes, and then consider the fact that I've cut a bit of Chao Garden time out when I was waiting for naps or giving them chaos drives or Chao drives or animals or anything like that, I've cut a pretty little chunk of time out too. And then consider how long I'm gonna wait. I was gonna, like I said, I was gonna make a video, but it would probably drain my computer completely of memory. So, instead of that, I'm just gonna keep a timer and let you guys know. We're gonna play the waiting game. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna go off camera. What I'm probably gonna do is take the little ones to and from the daycare a few times, wait. Shadow and Soul will have a few more naps. I'll save my game more and more frequently as time goes on, as I think they draw closer and closer to evolving. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, these two guys are going to be the first to evolve. You'll see the reasons why I picked them to be hero and dark, like one hero and one dark instead of two neutral in a second. They're both really hungry. I don't know how out of every Chao I have I neglect to feed these guys, because it seems like they're always starving. I gotta be careful about how many fruits I give him. He's still really, really dark, but I don't want him to turn into a hero Chao again, because it's just a pain that I don't want to deal with. But as long as they keep eating entire fruits, there we go, he's done now. So yeah, I think I just took a couple Chao and dropped them off, I don't remember. Yeah, I just dropped them off. And then, yeah, we are now playing the waiting game, so I'm going to do some cuts. Shadow just laid down for another nap, which is fine. And yeah, I will see you guys in a long, long fucking time. I'm going to turn off my recording stuff and then set up my phone timer.